Hello there, everybody, and welcome to session 97 of the Grrrl Squad. We closing in on them triple digits. I am your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on Twitch, and with me today we have got my lovely and amazing cast. We have got AK Warlock, we've got Ellie the Small, we've got Ilanapon 47. I don't know why I was about to say Ilanapon 147. Ilanapon 47. It's not as if I've been doing that for 3.5 years or anything, you know. And we've also got attack on Morgan. Now, I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. 19th of May, folks. We are going to have a new mini campaign starting 5:30 p.m. CST here on World Tree Quests. For all of you millennials out there who grew up loving a certain book series, and now you can't love that book series because some people are asshole writers. Unlike our lovely Alana here, who's a great writer, and by the way, you should go and look at her book. Sorry, I just shamelessly plugged you there because it was convenient to do so. But yeah, if you can't look at an old favourite book series because of asshole writers, you should come and see Welcome to the Academy, because it's a magic school, and we're going to poke fun at plot holes. All the plot holes, every one of them, all the stupid ones, including as to, you know, the ones that have already been mentioned, but we're going to mention them in more detail. You should come and see it. Can confirm, certain ghosts will be there, even though in the books they were ignored. We're going to make sure all the ghosts get acknowledged. So yeah, if you want to see wacky, zany, wizard school antics, as well as creepy, like, American collegiate secret society bullshit whacked together, yeah, we're going to do that shit all in Welcome to the Academy. You should come and see it. Also, anything that is raised during the time, any funds that come into World Tree Quest while that runs, on the days that it runs, is going to be going straight to the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project's a phenomenal charity out there which helps specifically trans people of the trans community to get, like, you know, healthcare, shelter, and even legal help wherever it is needed. So we're going to be helping them, because what better way to piss off a turf than to use their whole thing to help trans people. So that's what we're going to do, and half of what we raise is going to go towards Critical Role Foundation, because they just have, like, you know, a thing for everywhere. So come along and you can help with that simply by watching, simply by subscribing to the channel, or by donating to the PayPal link that we will have, so that we can get those funds sent out as quickly as possible. Other than that, I don't have anything, because I am boring and have no life other than this channel and D&D, so I will put it over to my lovely, wonderful, amazing players and ask, guys, can anybody remember what happened last session?
Well, a lot.
Ellie just straight up, no.
I was gone for the last half, so I don't know.
I played with an egg. That was fun.
You did.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did a lot of investigating on an egg.
So,
Yeah.
On our travels to Koyokobu's Manor, we did in fact mess around with Sunflower's dragon egg by using a bunch of different elements on it just to see what happens. And eventually we got down to it got to a certain point where there's just a window on the egg, about hand size, and it looks like a red crystal dragon of some sort. It looks almost ruby. And as we're going to bed, Sunflower thinks it's a great idea to ask my dad about the dragon, because we don't know anything about it, and maybe we'll figure something out.
First of all, it was a good idea because he is a dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ellie?
Also, Alice went into the dragon's mind. That was a
Oh
big.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big thing.
Sunflower's dad.
Yeah.
That was why we called the dad in the first place.
It was indeed.
I forgot about that one. Ellie went into the baby dragon's mind and got an image of a bunch of dragons and heard one word in particular, brought that information to Sunflower. Sunflower kind of like recognized it and then called her dad. To which we found out that the red dragon is bad news. Not the baby red dragon, but the big red dragon that's attacking Charmant. And that this little dragon that we have is very rare, very, very, very sought after, we don't want it to get in the wrong hands.
Very
so, Sunflower's dad also told us about an island out west somewhere. And Sira sent a couple of her cultists to go see about this island that apparently kills people kills people by making them insane if they even make it back at all. Then after the... Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just confirming what you said. Yeah, that was information that was given.
Then after that, we went to bed, and then... Oh wait, no, before that, there were a lot of thumbs.
Thumbs? Oh, yeah, thumbs ups. We all thumbs up.
There are a lot of thumbs ups.
I'm confused. Am I forgetting something? There was a lot of thumbs up.
No, we all thumbs up. I think it was
Dad.
I think Gideon was like,
yeah, I remember now. Gideon didn't know what a thumbs up was, and everybody thumbs up him, and then they explained what it was, and he was just like,
he's like, "Am I doing this right?"
Doing the dad
and it was
thing.
adorable. It was very cute.
Anyway, then we went to bed, and finally we made our way back to, we made our way to Koyokoko's manor, and we found out that the people are thriving. There were people actually working in the manor itself that, showed us around, or, told us where everything was. And while we were waiting, Sierra went shopping, bought a bunch of food, just to overpay the village, just because. And then, by the time we got back, we got notice that Lorelei's twin had arrived. And then we started talking, found out that their twin had a modified memory spell where they just couldn't remember certain parts of their life or when it happened. So Sunflower used, was it Greater Restoration?
I believe Sunflower used a Greater Restoration and was able to remove the modified memory.
Yep. That happened, and then things got awkward, and Sunflower and I kind of looked at each other and went, "Do you want to help me go cook? We're gonna go cook," and just kind of left so the twins could have their time together.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Sira. Anything that anybody else would like to add?
I don't have my notes with me currently because I'm not at my apartment. So thank you, AK, because I don't remember most of last session except reuniting with my sister.
So I'm just going to confirm the wee bits that were missed. It's not bits that were missed out, it's more specifics on them. So the modified memory did reveal that Eliras had been found and was taken to the temple of the Raven Queen and was subjected to the modifying memory by someone who was not the Raven Queen and was also not anybody that Lorelei was familiar with. But she was taken to this person through the mirror at the back of the council chambers, and she was taken through there by Knight Chaplain Nocturne, the black-furred leonin that haunted every single acolyte of the Raven Queen's nightmares for the time they were there, and who has been confirmed to be them and their group, their squad, are actively hunting for Lorelei. So it was Night Chaplain Nocturne that took them in there, and the modifying memory was used to not only hide this particular instance, the meeting with Night Chaplain Nocturne and this other person, but also to obscure exact memory details about the crash, the attack, what happened, where you were found, all that, to make it harder for them to find Lorelei. They were then taken. They were then left out on the streets of Shoremont, where they were found by everybody's favourite fancy man with a moustache, Jardin, who is the leader of the Shades, and he took her to the Garden, which is another name for the establishment where the Gilded Lilies operate from. And Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. That's how all that came about. So, what I would like to start with, as we go back to it, is slightly comfy vibes, okay? When we ended with it being kind of made fairly well known that Lorelei, their hair was very large because Eliras used to brush and do their hair for them. And we ended with Eliras taking out like a very fine, I think, knowing that the kind of nature of the Gilded Lilies, they have access to a lot of secrets from people in a lot of places where they store things and hide coin and jewels and such, which should not be made public. Therefore, they can steal them without arising too much investiture. So I imagine that it's actually probably quite a high quality, like you know those proper like badger hair brushes, like the really thick ones that are designed for really thick hair. So she takes out one of them and she started to brush Lorelei's hair. Lorelei, when we come back to you, feel free to describe any changes that may make to Lorelei's hair. I don't know if it will, but that's up to you. But I do want to go to Sira and Sunflower, okay? Because you guys did step away to go and do some cooking. That requires a check. So, first question I will ask to you guys, do either of you have proficiency with cooking utensils? I think
I have the chef's feet.
I'm fairly sure chef feet. Alrighty. The kitchen is well adorned, so you don't need the chef's utensils. You've got them all here. Sira, you're the one that brought the food. You have all the kind of food to hand. So what I'm going to say is, if you have all that food prepped, I'll count that as, like, the help action.
Okay.
If that's cool with you. And Sunflower, could you make me, what we're going to call it is, we've done this before with you, where it is standardly a wisdom check. Standard, where standard's an intelligence check. As it was described by yourself, Sunflower puts her heart and soul into food. So I'll put it up to you, either wisdom or charisma you can use for your cooking.
I mean, I'll do wisdom just because that's higher.
Highest stat.
And yes, I have a 20 in charisma, so.
Fantastic. So if you could,
or not charisma, in wisdom, sorry.
Okay.
So this is just a flat wisdom check?
It's a wisdom check, but you do add your proficiency bonus to it because you have the proficiency with chef's utensils. I don't know if it gives you anything else for having the chef's feet. I will go and double check it for you just now if you bear with me.
That's fine. It's already a plus 11, so.
Okay. Well, you never. It might get more.
Might get more. That's fine.
You might indeed. Who knows? What am I looking for? I am looking for.
Let me grab. I have it. Let me just. Chef. You gain a bonus to either Constitution or a Wisdom proficiency with cook's tools, and can prepare food that allows creatures to regain additional hit points when taking a short rest, as well as gain temporary hit points after a long rest.
Okay. Fantastic. And that's an extra 1d8 temporary hit points?
It doesn't actually say. It says I have 10 uses. Yeah, it doesn't actually say on here. But I'll take 1d8.
Temporary hit points equal to your proficiency bonus, so I believe at this level that's 6.
Yes.
So they'll get 6 temporary hit points. Alrighty, so Sunflower, if you could go ahead and make me that wisdom check, plus your proficiency bonus.
It was. Did I get the help action from Sira?
Yes, you've got the advantage as well.
Awesome. Oh my god. Wait, that one's cocked actually. So 7 the highest is 17 plus 11, 28.
On a 28, with what has been brought, Sira going around and grabbing high volume of everything, you're able to put together like a small feast with what you've been made. Really, really, hearty smells. Lots of fresh vegetables from this area because
I was gonna say, if I may.
Go ahead.
So I think it's a lot of like comfort things. Maybe not always like, I don't even want to say not even always the healthiest things, but a lot of things like cooked in like really nice rich broths, stews, cooked fishes, hearty breads, a lot of things that are just like easy to eat but also just like fill the soul, things like that. So a lot of vegetable stews, a lot of broths served separately, just a lot of like thick healthy things, not healthy, thick soulful, like feeds your heart kind of things.
I totally get what you're saying, where you go like,
yes.
Healthy, not, but it's healthy for your soul, 100%. Raised with an Irish mother, that food was not healthy for your arteries, but it was definitely
no. There's
healthy
so
for
much
your
butter
soul.
in there. There's so much butter there.
Fantastic. So this food that you described, you guys can smell it from like anywhere on the bottom floor of this large manor house. You guys can smell this food wafting around.
Just smells like mom's kitchen.
100%. What I do want to quickly jump to now with that check being done, as that's being cooked, Alice. Now, obviously, you left before the kind of second half, okay? So, to give you a brief rundown of what has been explored in this house. When you come in the main atrium chamber, right, so the kind of entrance hallway, there's a corridor to your left, which the only real description that has been given about it was, if you go down there, there's a bathtub that used to be filled with blood. It's not anymore. It's a normal functioning bathtub now. To the right leads towards like a botanical wing filled with all kinds of weird and wonderful plants. It's basically a giant greenhouse. And then the upstairs, going into the western wing, that's kind of like, the guest wing. The upstairs and kind of deeper into the house hasn't really been explored. Now it has upstairs to the right. However, downstairs, there's a set of double doors. Going through there, ignoring all the doors on the left and the right, there's a living room straight ahead and like a sitting room. That's where Lorelei and Eliras are right now. Then there's the kitchen directly to the left of that, and to the right is the rest of the house. So, what would Alice be doing in this moment? Exploring, checking out weird creepy bathtubs, like looking at libraries, investigating deeper in the house. As weird and as wonderful as is open to a high fantasy game, what kind of things would Alice be doing?
If I'm being completely honest, like Alice would probably be hanging out with Sunflower while she's cooking, like just chilling.
So you're just chilling in the kitchen.
Yeah, I don't think that she would necessarily be like exploring the house, especially because she had heard like some of the things that like Sira told them about it.
Yeah.
And so just being like, you know what? I'm not going to risk it.
Like, you're literally like my guinea pig for like food. I'm literally just like keep shoving food at you. But then like if you try to take food yourself, I'm like, no.
Yeah. And I'm like, you
why
just
is this
gave it to
sounding
me. Why can't
more,
I have it again?
This is sounding more and more like Irish kitchens the longer we describe it.
It's not. It's a Jewish kitchen.
Ilana, we've had this conversation. They're the same thing.
It's literally like, no, eat this, but don't take it yourself.
Yeah, that
When a
sounds like
wooden-
my mom in the kitchen too.
When
and
a
she
wooden
is
spoon
another
is
Irish
presented,
Portuguese.
when a wooden spoon is presented, you do not ask questions. You open your
Nope,
mouth.
you just
You
eat.
just open
Real-
your mouth.
Real quick story time. I used to, our hallway that led to the kitchen used to have like was catty corner to our living room, and I made people hop over the corner of the kitchen because I was like, if you step foot in the kitchen while I'm cooking, I don't care if it's to go to the living room, I will come at you. So anyway,
I never used to think I was like my mother until I started cooking for my family. Now, if anybody comes in the kitchen when I'm cooking, I'm like, you can leave bruised or you can leave bloody. Either way, you will be leaving. Like, get out of my kitchen. Okay.
But yes,
well, if Alice is going to be there, slowly being fattened up. I just love the idea of Alice just sitting there, just like.
like a baby.
Yeah,
great.
Alice is like, I love food. Let's go.
I was just like,
Alice is like, I haven't
eaten in 8 months. Like, I'm gonna eat.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
So in that case, then, with that being done in there, I want to come back to Lorelei and Eliras. Okay. Now you guys are alone. You know, you've got the fireplace. You've got the little kind of like snacks and stuff and drinks that have been brought out already, and Eliras is just brushing through your hair. And she, every now and again, she makes little comments about like the brush getting stuck, and you just see like little sighs of like, and you know the general kind of like, you know, when was the last time that you brushed your hair, and you know that kind of sisterly interaction beginning to come back. Like, even though she has very evidently aged so much, the mannerisms that she had as like a child and such, like when she would brush her hair and like it would get stuck and then would have to pull harder, like that's all still there. It's just much more subtle, and it's less of like a and more of just like a and just pulls through the tug. So
Ow, 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 that hurts.
it wouldn't hurt if you would brush your hair.
I mean, well, no one ever taught me to do it, so
A bit of your hair hangs in front of your face. The brush comes round and you see it just pass very slowly through. Like, it's not entirely rocket science.
I've been busy doing other things, okay?
There's a wee dip of silence there. What kind of things?
Do you want to know everything that happened?
Another couple of seconds as she just brushes through little bits of your hair. If you want to tell.
Well, after the attack, I got kind of grouped in with a bunch of people that were leaving, and we went up into the mountains, and I was with them for a little bit up into the border mountains. Then I got separated from them, and so I was by myself. I don't really know for how long. A few days, I think. And then a group of priests found me, and one of them decided to take me back to the temple, even though the others didn't want to. But he did. And I was there up until... How much time has it been in-game since Lorelei has left?
Since Lorelei has left
The temple.
the Raven Queen's temple.
Yeah.
So the party found you roughly a month and a half after Alice's whole event. So about 6.5 months.
Yep.
A lot's happened in half a year.
Yep. Yeah, Lorelei would go, I was there until about 6, almost 7 months ago when I left. Oh. We've been near each other the whole time, but nobody told us.
Another wee bit of silence as she brushes. What are you going to do about these Raven Queen people looking for you?
Honestly, I don't really know. I feel like sometimes everyone thinks that I'm supposed to like have a plan or idea or know what to do, and I haven't really known what to do since I left, honestly. Just kind of been figuring it out as I go along. I mean, I don't want to hurt them or kill them or anything, because I know it's not their fault. They think that the Raven Queen told them to do this. There has to be some way we can prove to them that it's not her, right? I just don't know how to do that.
I'm not entirely well versed with zealots, but from what I understand, they don't always take kindly to being told what they believe is not reality.
Yeah. No, that's kind of how it works. I mean, it took a lot of convincing them that I was supposed to be her champion. It took somebody coming from the Shadowfell on behalf of her to convince them. And even then, I don't think some of them were still fully convinced.
Well, if what you told me is correct, the ones who weren't convinced would probably be the ones who knew about the absence of this Raven Queen person, or were already fooled by whoever it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I found out about it. One of them told me. I mean, Nocturne is definitely involved in this. Has to be.
Is there anything you want to ask me?
What exactly do you do?
She kind of chuckles at that and she says, well, We don't do what the nobility of Shoremont think we do. To start. We're thieves. That's what we do. But different people steal different things. Most of the lower workers within the lilies, we take coins here, trinkets there. If we can manage to get the secret from someone about a cache that has been left behind, we will take that. And of course they can't go to the public about it because, well, it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. But some of us, with a bit more skill and magical capabilities, we deal in secrets. That's what I do. I lull them into thinking a certain illusion is taking place, usually of a rather delicate and private nature. And in those moments their minds are usually weak enough, or their tongues loose enough, that we find the secrets and information we need. At which point we hold it, and should it ever be needed, we ensure that it's used to better help the people who truly need help.
Insight check.
By all means.
28.
28. There's no deception here whatsoever.
Okay.
To be very specific, nothing that she has said has been incorrect or misleading.
Yeah. Who do you use it to help?
Well, the last piece of information I got was about a human noble who was choosing to sell off smaller portions of his land in order to pay a gambling debt. There was a family who had lived on that land for several generations, and they were going to lose their home. So we suggested to this politician, this noble, that perhaps his debts would be made public knowledge if he didn't find some other way to repay. Now, it's a terrible scandal for a noble to be revealed to have any kind of malfeasance against them, and so they were very quick to change their mind, and we saved a generation from going homeless.
Wow.
We've also used it to arrange for people to be killed. That's just the nature of the job. Although we don't do the killing ourselves, we leave that to our less colourful teammates. You know them as the Shades.
Oh, yeah. My partner is with them right now.
She kind of narrows her eyes, and the little twinge of a smile comes up at the edge of her mouth. This raven.
Mm-hmm.
So, am I going to have to dance around that, or are you going to tell me how that happened?
Well, he pointed a gun at me.
A classic meet cute. Go on.
We had to sneak into this terrible lord's auction, because he was auctioning off this artifact of the Raven Queen that I was tasked. Well, and Lorelai's like, I kind of tasked myself with finding it, and we swiped it and replaced it. But he caught on because he was there to watch over it, and he wanted us to give it back to him. So he followed us, and he pointed a gun at us, And my friends tried to explain that it was probably meant for me. And I disagreed because it was supposed to go to the champion, and I didn't think that was me. And then he threw it at me, and I caught it, and that's how we found out that I was supposed to be the next champion of the Raven Queen. Yeah. And then they made him come, and they made us go on a date. I didn't really understand what a date was exactly. They didn't fully explain it to me. But yeah. And it kind of went from there. He well, I don't know if he can anymore. He could teleport really easily. So anytime I kind of needed him, he would just sort of teleport through the shadows and be there. He broke his pact for me.
And are you happy with him?
Yeah.
Good, because if you're not, I will slip something into a drink that he drinks and he will die horrifically.
Oh, would you please don't do that. He's really nice. He has a funny way of talking, but he's really nice.
When you say a funny way of talking, does he talk? And she's going to kind of clear her voice, and I'm going to do a performance check to see how this comes out.
Oh, the bard doing a performance check.
The bard doing a performance check sucked.
Oh no!
I'm just going to like. So you can tell it's meant to be like a kind of attempt at Raven's kind of Tennessee style accent, and what comes out is basically the Colonel. And like, you know, that deep, like, high drawn Kentucky. And she's like, kind of talks like this.
That's like pretty over exaggerated. Wow, you are not good at accents.
I'm really not. I only have to be alluring. That doesn't really require speaking to the most simple of minds.
But yeah, he also he talks like that, and he also, the way he talks, besides the accent, is just kind of funny. I've never heard anybody else talk like that.
To that, she's going to be like, did some rambling rogue steal my sister's heart just with pretty words? Sorry, my sibling's heart just with pretty words. Is that what you're telling me?
No. It was what he did. I mean, even before he really knew me, he was convinced that I was the next champion, and he's always believed in me. Most of the time when I didn't believe in myself. And that's never wavered. Ellie, he broke his pact because I broke mine.
Well, I am glad that you found somebody who would do that for you. Perhaps I will one day. Who knows?
I mean, he does have a brother. And if he's anything like Raven...
Corvus is strange.
So is Raven.
Corvus, he's quite shy. I don't know. Sometimes I've looked at Corvus and thought maybe, and sometimes I've looked at Corvus and thought definitely not. But much like you describe, Corvus has always been there. He's always been a friend.
I would also recommend my friends, but most of them already have partners. So Sunflower is married.
Question mark?
Luna is engaged and also on a different plane of existence right now. And Alys is married. I don't know about Sira.
Well, before you pawn me off to one of your friends, how about... Well, first off, I should ask, what do we do tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a great... How safe is the garden? Like, how protected is it?
If Madame Esmeralda
first-
doesn't want anybody in there, they cannot get in. I don't think there's a being more feared in all of Shoremont than Madame Esmeralda.
You should meet Luna then, cause Luna is scary when she wants to be. She's really nice, she's really lovely, she's so smart, but get on her bad side. Not a good idea.
Well, if I ever meet this Luna, I'll be sure not to get on their bad side.
I hope you get to meet her. I miss her. So that's good. How often do you leave the garden?
Oh, we can leave whenever we like.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like, you're not. I mean, it's good that you're not like trapped.
I understand.
I
understand what you mean now.
Yeah, I was kind of stuck at the temple. I wasn't supposed to leave at all. Actually, they got kind of upset at me for that.
I don't have any more assignments for quite some time.
Okay.
And you're always free to visit me. You and your friends, you're always free to come and visit.
Yeah, really?
Always. Although, before you come and visit, you have to be aware, if you hear music coming from the first floor ballrooms, do not go in.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, once we're done talking, whatever, we should talk to the others about what the plan is. But I think the plan should be you don't leave the garden until we stop this. And no, they do know about you. They do know about you. And because you kind of look almost exactly like me, and there's not a lot of people that look like us. In fact, I think Raven might be one of the only other tieflings I've met besides us.
Oh, I've met a few.
I haven't met that many. Just like Raven, really.
No, I've met a few tieflings. I met a blue one.
Like
strange though.
You met
a blue tiefling.
I haven't seen one since.
I know. I felt the same way. Caught me by surprise at first. I thought it might be,
There's a pause. Are you mad at me?
Why would I be mad?
Because it's my fault.
She frowns at that, and you feel the brush stop in your hair. How is it your fault?
Because I'm the one that kept hugging her for new paint because I ran out.
And
if we hadn't been out to get new paint, then she would.
You could blame any number of things in that way, Lorelei. I blamed myself as well. What if I just, what if I had thrown a temper tantrum and insisted that we stayed? Is it my fault that I said, no, let's go and get Lorelei's paints? Is it my fault as well because I didn't do that? No, of course not. Our family had magic, but as far as I'm aware, we didn't have any form of divination magic. So, are you able to see the future?
No.
Are you able to read tea leaves like the old elf used to be able to do in that tavern?
No.
And are you able to divine truth from staring at the stars or from looking at the wonky shapes on the side of a rock?
No, but I haven't tried that. So maybe.
The point is, there was no way you could have known what would happen. The only people that could have known what would happen are the people that decided to do what they did. That's it. Nobody's to blame except them.
Okay. I spent a really long time thinking that the reason that you and Dad never found me was because you didn't want to.
Well, I can safely say if that's truly what you think, then you may have gotten the looks in this family, but you definitely did not get the brains. We're twins, by the way, so I also got the looks before you say anything about that.
I wasn't. I think you've always been the prettier one. Everyone else agreed with me back in Wave West.
Yes, but that's people from Wave West. They also think people with, that smell of fish are attractive.
I've known where you are for a little bit.
And were you scared to come and find me for some reason?
Yeah.
Is it because you heard the rumours about what was in the garden and you thought that I was doing that?
A little bit. But I also didn't know if you wanted me to find you. And then also maybe I thought that my friends would like you more than me. But we don't talk about that, it's fine. You're stupid, obviously.
Well, I don't know about your friends, I can't say for them, but what I can say is that if they like me more than you, well, they have excellent taste.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I knew you'd say that.
But also, they'd be missing out on something. But there is another person who's immensely glad that we have been reunited.
Who?
Your hair, and she's going to throw your hair over your shoulders, all now completely brushed out.
It's so long. It's so long.
Excuse me a moment, guys. Sorry.
You're fine. Like, it was already long
What?
to begin with, even like phew, all like crazy like Merida hair. Now that's all brushed off. It's like past their butt. It's so long. And now I don't know what to say. Everybody having a good day?
I'm just tired.
Yeah, it's not bad. I find I got a bunch of sleep because I worked the early shift yesterday, so I'd been up from like 4:30, and then I passed out at like 9:30. So, and tomorrow I'm working overnights because they don't care about sleep schedules at my job.
Oof.
Hospital
Sorry.
life.
Hospital life. Yeah, there's this very funny thing. I say funny. There's this thing where they'll give you an overnight, and then they'll be like, "But we gave you the next day off, so you can recover." Except the day they gave you off, you will technically be working at least 6.5 hours. Because it starts at 10:30 or 7:30 or whenever, and it ends at 6:30 the next morning, the morning of the day you have off.
That's not how a day. That's not a
Yeah, they don't understand that. They're like, but the shift started on Saturday. I'm like, yeah, but it ends on Sunday.
day. Yikes.
And I'm just like, thankfully I don't have to do it that often. It's really only like once or twice a schedule cycle. But yeah, we talk about this all the time where we're like, they don't know how, because the people making the schedules never have to work these overnight shifts.
Of course they don't.
Of course not.
Maybe Trish does sometimes, but like, it's fine. And I don't want to complain because honestly, they've been very nice to me recently regarding schedules because I've had to either request off or leave early for like the house stuff. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
my whole work is just full of these little things. Like, it's very immature workplace, honestly. There's a lot of drama, and there's a lot of, like, people talking shit, and just so much. Guys, for anyone who is watching currently, I don't want you thinking that hospitals are honestly closer to the TV dramas in terms of drama than you would think, and it's hilarious. Literally, my boss will not stop dropping names when there's a conflict. He literally, I told him that somebody, like, wasn't doing their job and, like, maybe they should. And he literally went up to her and went, "So Alana said." And I'm like, bro, what the hell? And he does
Wild.
this all the time. And it's crazy. It's so fucking funny. And, like, his office has a window out into, like, the whole of the pharmacy. So every time he brings somebody in there to talk or even like to have like to like discipline them or anything, everyone sees.
Mm-hmm.
Which might just be like an architectural flaw, but still, there should at least be blinds.
Truly.
But anyway, so yeah, hospitals are very serious places where a lot of work gets done, and we're all talking shit about each other all the time.
Because it's still a workplace.
It is still a workplace, and we honestly probably spend more time together and weirder hours together than like most workplaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I luckily work for a really awesome family. So
There
they
you
are
go.
they are very cool with like scheduling. I've had to leave early for auditions, and they're like, and I've always like felt bad because one time it was like kind of last minute. I was like, "I'm so sorry," and like the mom stopped me and was like, "I'm so excited for you." Like,
Oh, that's great.
Sorry about
It's
that,
really
guys.
sweet.
I had to go and answer a phone call there. Sorry.
Yeah,
all good.
We're just
Okay.
talking about how hospitals are full of drama.
I'm married to a nurse. The shit that I hear about.
Anyway.
The last thing I heard was you talking that Lorelei's hair was like down to their butt now because it's all been.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like it was already long, but now that it's all brushed out, it's so long.
Alrighty. So long hair, and is it still quite as like poofy out, or has it like been brought in a bit because it's all been?
It's like their hair. It's still like curly.
Yeah.
Like it's not like frizzy curls. Like their hair is very that like the hair is like, which is hard to tell right now because my hair is dry. Their hair is that very kind of like curly, wavy.
Right.
Not like frizzy curly, but like
okay.
curly wavy, which is what my hair is like. You just can't tell because my hair is dry. It gets curlier when it's wet.
My hair has like a subtle wee wave to it. Alrighty, awesome. With that, what I want to do from there is, as your hair's flumped out in front of you like a big bright red rope on two sides in front of you, I want to jump from there into the kitchen. Okay, so we're going to jump into the kitchen where we've got Sunflower, we've got Sira, and we've got Alys. Alys is currently having, wooden spoons shoved at them every now and again.
They're having like pre-dinner. They're like, when you basically have a full serving beforehand because you're just being like force-fed, like little bits every so often.
Absolutely.
And you will be expected to eat a full portion at dinner.
So while Lorelei and Eliras are having their, sisterly bonding moment, what do you guys want to be doing in this kitchen? I mean, obviously, cooking and such is still going on, but is there anything else that you want to discuss? Anything that wants to be talked about?
I don't honestly have anything thought about right now.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Again, I'm just jumping to it because I don't want it to be another elongated moment of conversation then with no break in between it. So I'm just jumping to you guys to see if there is anything that you want to do. Before I then bring it into the wrap-up of Lorelei and Eliras.
Yeah. I think Sunflower is definitely like focusing on just doing her thing of like, I'm going to focus on this one task because the bigger things in life right now are a little overwhelming. So I'm going to focus on this thing that I can control, and that will help.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, if there's nothing more specific than just, sitting, helping, and then focusing on the food, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it into the wrap-up of Lorelei and Eliras, and then I believe after that is long resting into the next morning and what's going to be there. Okay? Cool. So, as the hair is thrown in front of you, Lorelei, and as Eliras kind of comes and sits around, no longer behind you, sitting next to you, she's going to take a hold of like the little kind of like thing of tea that she has and bring it to her lips, drink a little bit, and then look at you and go, I really do mean this in the nicest way, Lorelei. When was the last time you had your hair cut?
It's been a while. I mean, and they kind of stop. Master Julius used to do it. But he stopped when I got older.
Did he stop for a particular reason?
He said it was my responsibility to take care of it now.
And then you just never did.
No. I had other things to do, okay?
Okay, I'm just curious. Just asking, that's all. When you go back to them,
I'm not going back to them.
Okay. When these ones find you, and you have to deal with them, is Master Julius one of them?
He's also the one that told me about it.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot I have to deal with. Always has been.
When I get back to the garden, I'll speak to some of the other people there and see if any of them have any information on anybody within the temple, anything that can be of help.
Okay. And Lorelei kind of reaches out and puts their hand on top of Elias's. I'm gonna find them, Ellie. And I'm gonna stop them. I promise.
When you do, I want to help.
Okay.
Because they didn't just take you from your sister. They took me from mine. And it's not just you that deserves revenge for that.
You're right. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to tell me, just us, before you go talk to everybody else?
Not that can be said now.
What do you mean?
Well, if we were to sit and reminisce over everything that we missed growing up, well, we'd be here until for the next 10 day. So...
Yeah, that's true.
But what I will say is the next time you come to the garden, we are going to have to introduce you to the stylist there.
What do you looks down? What are you talking about? I have great style. This is great.
I mean for your hair.
Oh, for my hair.
Yes. Everything else is great.
Thank you. Gestures to like the armor and the boots. I painted it myself.
I'm glad to see that you kept up with the painting.
Yeah. Also, pulls out the paintbrush that has the ring on it and is gonna... What would Elias's favorite thing be? Like,
favorite? Are we talking
animal?
Oh,
like it could be animal, like something that like Lorelei would know is, because you know how like, especially because they were separated at such a young age.
Yeah.
You know how every kid is like hyper fixated on one thing. For me, it was the rainforest. I was a rainforest kid. I was obsessed with it. I did multiple school projects on it. So like, what was like the one thing that Elias was like hyper fixated on? Like, was it music? Was it the stars? Like, whatever.
So obviously music, but another big part of it was they really loved like, you know, like the beach, not like the ocean, specifically the beach, like
Sure.
the waterfront. So, their favorite thing would be like the sound of like the surf. You know, like hitting in, then coming out, then hitting, then coming out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take my paintbrush and I'm gonna paint the waterfront with waves crashing with minor illusion, and I'm also gonna add in the sound of waves crashing.
Okay, so so the minor illusion creates the image, and then would it be like prestidigitation to add the sound in?
No, minor illusion also does sound.
Oh, does it? Fantastic.
Yeah, it can if you create a sound, its volume can range from whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's or a beating of drums, or any other sound you choose.
Her face lights up. You know, at this point, the makeup that she had on her face has ran to all hell. She has like gold streaks and everything down her face. But she smiles, her entire demeanor lights up. And there's just a minute where she's sitting staring at it, smiling. We should go back at some point.
I've been back.
Is it still as full of character as it usually is?
Yeah, I am. I visited her.
Well, maybe next time you go, you can take me.
I just wanted to show you that you're not the only bard in the family, so you have some competition now.
I don't think it's a competition.
I mean, like, I can't sing or anything, but I can paint pretty well, according to everybody.
Maybe one day we'll have a bard off and see who wins.
I never really felt like I belonged in our family. You know, you guys could all sing and play instruments and do magic with that, and I couldn't. I could paint, and you know, everybody always liked you more than me. You were the friendly, pretty one, and I was the weird one. So I didn't think that I could do magic. At least not like that. And so when I joined the temple and I started studying to be a cleric, it was like, oh, finally. Now I can do this. But in my own way. And with the help of a god.
I'm glad you have that. But I don't think it was with the help of a god.
Yeah. When I lost it, felt like I felt useless. And then I met somebody on this island who showed me that I was never supposed to be a cleric. I had to study really hard. And I spent a lot of time in the library reading lots of books. That's not how clerics work. So I think it's taken me a while. You know me, though. I was always a little bit behind everybody.
Can you make me an what? Can you make me an insight check, please?
Sure.
That's my question of. I'm going to ask you to wait. Is it the right thing? Is that the right thing to ask? Yes. Insight.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't
Tell
know.
me.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, tell me, Bran, what does a 31 get me?
31. Something crosses Eliras' mind. And she does that thing that Lorelei does. When Lorelei thinks of something but isn't entirely convinced about it and doesn't really have all the information, where it's like they frown. They almost like frown in thought, like,
Hey, wait a second. I know that look. I do that. Oh, we are identical, aren't we?
alarmingly so, except, well, the hair.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, if you had to study to get clerical powers,
Yeah.
it doesn't really sound like they were given to you, so you weren't a cleric. Or at least not by general and conventional means. So can you be sure you've ever actually met the Raven Queen in any way, shape or form?
Oh, that exact reaction I just had is Lorelei's reaction. Just like,
it's just Corvus is a cleric, and he says that he just the moment that he decided that was what he was doing, that's what happened, and well, he never had to study.
right. But I mean, I was raised in that temple, and she talked to me quite a bit.
How do you know it was her? How does anybody in that temple know that it's her? Or are they all some part of some grander cult?
No, but no, because that can't. No, because I found the feather of the fell, and that's her artifact, and she made me champion, and I went to the Shadowfell, and I met her, and somebody who works with her, who was also a champion of her. No, because when I broke my pact, I couldn't do magic anymore.
Could that be down to your perception that you believe you wouldn't be able to do magic if you let go of this? So, like a arcane placebo?
No, that can't.
It's just amusing. It's just an outside musing. I will see what I can find out about this, because this doesn't sound normal.
I can't. Oh my god, I really am as dumb as everyone thinks I am.
No, you're not dumb. Someone being smarter than you does not mean you are dumb. It means that somebody is smarter than you. That's it.
But who would do this? Why would they do this? Why?
I don't know, but we will find out. Perhaps your friends can help.
I have to go. And Lorelei runs out of the room.
She lets you go. The question I will ask on that is would Lorelei return for dinner or just stay away?
I think somebody would have to kind of fetch them.
Okay. So what I will do then is, for the sake of brevity, for the sake of brevity, what we'll do is, when it comes to dinner, Eliras will excuse themselves, and they'll leave behind a letter. Okay? For Lorelei. Obviously, Eliras was going to be leaving at some point, so we'll still keep everything else in, and we can jump to the long rest. Then, what I would like to do is there anything that you would like, any kind of particulars you would like to look at before that long rest comes into play, guys? So dinner is kind of served up. You guys eat this food. Remember that if you eat the food, you get 6 temporary hit points because of Sunflower's chef feat. So make sure that's noted in. As was said, somebody would have to bring Lorelei food or come and get Lorelei to that. Eliras will very, very like Irish goodbye, like, you know, leave a note and then they just kind of leave. The note is left specifically for Lorelei. It has Lorelei's name written on it. So as Lorelei leaves and goes off to obviously look at this new information, to Alys, to Sunflower, to Sira, is there anything that you guys would like to do pre/during dinner before it goes to the long rest?
Knowing how Lorelei's twins' job is, I think Sira would have packed a lunch for her travels back to Shoremont and just like left it in like on a table next to the front door.
And is this again from the food that Sunflower made?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I will note down that Eliras has 6 temporary hit points as well. Alright, thank you very much, Sira. Sunflower, I can see your hand poking up. What would you like to do?
I do have a question, and if it's not the thing we talked about, would this be around the time signs might be showing, or?
I would say at this particular point, do you know what to do? Make me a medicine check.
Make me a medicine check.
And it is you, so with advantage.
Cool. So that's a plus 11. That's nice. Double 15s, so a 26.
I would say signs are definitely showing, but not like enough that it's definite. Enough that like, oh, this is something to think about.
She's definitely like, I think there's a moment where there's like the math, and then she's like, no. And she stands there and she's like, maybe, no. And then she like continues on with her day, like literally just like, I can't think about that right now because that's ridiculous.
Denial is also a river in Egypt.
Oh, she is in heavy denial. She's definitely just like, nope. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, so Sunflower has moved into a state of denial. And to Alys, is there anything that you would like to do, kind of before the long rest, during/post dinner?
I mean, not really that I can think of.
No? Okay.
My brain's not braining today, so I got nothing.
Absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Absolutely fine. Lorelei, your hand went up.
I have something that I would like to do
By
before
all
the
means,
long
go
rest.
for it before we go into our long rest.
Sick. I would note that Lorelei was pretty quiet at dinner, which you all know is pretty out of character. And I think left dinner before their sister left. And before I take my long rest, I would like to let me double check something. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I would like to cast scrying
Okay.
on the Raven Queen. But
Okay.
specifically, the Raven Queen that I know and have talked to over the
Right.
years.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Right.
And I thought that maybe if I cast it at a higher level, it would like help. It doesn't. So
No,
I will
scrying's
just
kind of a once you've got the spell,
yeah.
there's not really much point in upcasting it unless you just don't have the 5th level spell slot.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay, so you've
casting
met
at
the
5th
target.
level.
So
I am very familiar with the target, and because
yes,
of that, they get a -5
they do indeed.
to the save modifier.
The connection. Do you have a connection to them? Because you no longer have your, you no longer have your
Sure.
your spell focus. No, your spell focus. Your holy
Sure.
symbol. You don't have a body part from them. You don't have a possession or garment that belong to them.
I have a prayer book.
You have a prayer book.
I still have my Raven Queen prayer book.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll to see if that will count. I'm gonna roll a d20.
Sure.
Odds it counts, evens it doesn't. Odds 13 it counts. Okay, so I will call that a likeness or picture, and so that's a total of -7 that they have to their saving throw.
Let's go.
Okay. That's a 23 in total.
Passes.
Okay.
DC was 18.
The picture begins to form, similar to like as you look. It's almost like you're looking into a mirror and watching your reflection morph and twist and change to become that which you usually recognise. But then the surface you're looking at just goes inky black.
Shit. Okay. Lorelei's like, no, come on. And it doesn't work, and they're just like, and yeah, that's all I'll do before the long rest.
Okay. Then at that point, we'll put the party for a long rest, and we will take our 15-minute break. When we come back, we are going into the next morning, discussions and choices after that. Alright? Fantastic. Guys, don't go anywhere. We will see you all in 15 minutes. Don't go away. Hello there, folks. Welcome back to part 2, and a new day has dawned. Because this is a friendly domicile and it has been reinforced and such, you guys are going to, from taking a long rest here, I also forgot that you do also have the well rested feature, which is a feat from a third party thing that I've been looking at for a while. So on top of the 6 temporary hit points you've also got an additional 10 temporary hit points as well. I know you're not supposed to allow them to stack, but it's my game, I'm God, and I say what the fuck. So you're going to have 16 temporary hit points. The next day, as the sun comes up, I want to start with Sunflower. I want to start with Yeah, I'm going to start with Sunflower. I'm going to start with Sunflower.
Okay, I'm here.
So morning comes, Sunflower, what's your first go-to thing in the morning?
I think her morning routine has changed somewhat in like the year that she's been here. It used to be wake up, pray, put things together, but I think now it's more about like, okay, I have to get things together for everyone. So I think she gets up, puts on. She doesn't put her armor on yet, but she is definitely like walking around in like less or more practical clothes than she used to. It used to be the dress and the skirts and all that other stuff, and now it's more like loose pants, lots of green earth tones, tunics, things like that. She gets dressed and she immediately goes down and starts like gathering the. Oh.
Right. With that being the case, I need you. Sorry, what's up?
Oh, yeah, go. No, go ahead.
Okay, with you doing that, I need you to make me a perception check. I need you to run and answer the door. Make me a perception check, though, please.
Yep. 17. Is he gone? He's gone. He left.
Yeah, just hold on to that until he gets back.
Yeah, he said he was going to get the door, I think.
Okay, that perception check. What was the roll on it?
17.
17. Okay, so on a 17, you wake up, you're gathering all the things, getting things sorted for everybody.
Because I think, I assume we were, heading out after this. Again,
well, I think that was the plan, was to wake up, get ready, and get moving on to whatever the next goal was going to be. When you get up, the egg is completely clear.
She's literally gonna do that thing you do when you're like first thing in the morning and things like don't register right away, where she's just like, okay, I gotta brush my teeth, I gotta, do my hair, the egg's clear, I'm gonna go find my shoes, and then stop and be like, turn slowly to it and be like, you weren't like that earlier. I'm just gonna go up to it and just be like, she's not going to touch it or anything, but she is going to, like, look at it.
Okay. You can now make out the very noticeable shape of a coiled up little hatchling. Well, I say little hatchling. The egg is medium sized, so it's roughly around the same size as Alys. So the creature inside it is barely small. Like a couple of inches on either side and it would be a medium creature. This is barely a small creature.
Yeah. Okay, so she's literally looking in, and she's just studying it, like, huh. And does she notice anything? Like, does it seem to be asleep?
Less asleep and more, like, dormant. Like, so there's visible signs of, like, breathing, and it's moving and reacting and such, but, like, like anything inside an egg would do. It's not like it's... Yeah. It's not like it's asleep.
No, I didn't know if it was like awake, or not sentient, whatever, aware. So I think she's after like something like that. Yeah. I think that after studying it for a little bit, she is gonna lay like one hand against it. She's gonna touch the egg.
Oh.
She touched the egg.
Oh, she touched the butt.
I was just about to say that. I was like,
touched the butt. I need to roll something because technically
Cool.
that is on a technical
there's
level.
technicalities.
There's technicalities. Okay. You touch the egg. And as you touch the egg, again, there's no words, no images, no nothing like that. There's just the kind of, it almost feels like, I don't know if you've ever had one, it's almost like a tattoo needle. Like just that little kind of subtly numbing little spike of psychic
like
energy.
in her head?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't hurt though, right?
No,
like,
it doesn't
not
hurt.
like an
It's
attack.
more like if it was done repeatedly, it could either be annoying or it could be kind of calming.
Okay.
It's done in very much in the way of like, you know, like using detect thoughts, where like, you know, if you don't probe deeper, you just kind of like gently caress the outside of the psyche and get the surface level thoughts. It's almost like that, but it's more animalistic, more like an instinctual thing rather than I'm going to actively do this. It's like you touched it, so it immediately went, what's that?
Okay. She's trying to. Okay, I don't. You can tell me if I need a spell for this.
Okay.
Or if I can just kind of do it. I think she's gonna try and like do it back. Like send some psychic energy back.
So you would need to use detect thoughts for that.
Okay. I don't. Do I have that? One sec. Sorry. I can manage my spells. Known spells. I have detect magic. Wait, is this? Sorry, that's my druid spells. Let's try. Detect good and evil. Sorry, I don't think I have the thoughts.
Okay. So I don't think.
Can I? Okay, can I try sending then?
You certainly can.
Yeah, let's try sending to the dragon egg. Sorry, let me just... Sorry, one moment. I'm trying to keep track of things. Okay, so she's gonna cast Sending, and she's going to say to the dragon, just be like, "Hello, my name's Sunflower. I'm a friend. You're safe. Can you hear me?"
Hello, my name is Sunflower. I am a friend. You're safe. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. It's going to come back to you. Like, because with Sending, you're able to answer. But it comes back to you, the words all jumbled up.
He confused.
Very much so. It's like when you give a kid like a bunch of those cue cards and it's like put it in, like look at the sentence I made, and you give it to them and it's like, you know, I bought pancakes, and they're like, pancakes bought I. Pancakes I bought. Bought pancakes I. Like, you know, they kind of they muddle it all up and like, you know, I did it too. It's like that. It's not said in your voice. It's said in like an amalgamation of voices, like different voices that have just been heard or picked up over whatever, and just, you know, thrown in there. There's no
Reminds me of that scene of Tarzan.
Yeah. Any words I can pick up that might be of note?
All of the words that you just said. It just
so you just repeated my words back, mumbled up.
All kind of garbled up.
Okay. I think she's just going to... Wait, I just need to check something. Sorry, I just need to check something.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so part of Druidcraft is that you can create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect. The examples are falling leaves, puff of wind, small sound of a small animal, faint odor. Could I use Druidcraft to make warmth from her hand?
Technically, yes. To what ends? To try and like let the like. Heat
No,
the
it's like a comforting warmth, like just to be like, even if you can't understand.
Oh
This is
yeah,
like
yeah. Of course, I will
comforting.
allow that. Yeah, I will allow that.
Yeah, this is like her trying to be like, you're safe, you're warm, you're okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay. And then I'm going to pick the egg up, half dressed, pretty much, and go to find Alice.
Okay, that brings us on to the next part. As you pick up and go to find Alice, as you wake up after the long rest, what's Alice's first steps for the day?
I mean, Alice is putting on all of her weapons.
All
So
of
that's
them.
so when
She has.
Sunflower comes and finds you, you'll be about a third of the way done.
Yeah,
We've been at it for like an hour.
yeah.
So as you wake up, you can get yourself dressed. The thing about this armor that you have is it doesn't take long to dress at all. You tap the necklace and
Yeah. And at this point, she's wearing it just as a necklace because she's like, well, I don't need armor right now. So she's like in a tunic.
okay. Sunflower is able to find you. Do you answer the door, or does Sunflower not even knock? Does Sunflower just barge in? Like,
She's holding a giant egg, so she like taps with her foot.
I mean, honestly, Alice would be like stuffing a dagger somewhere and being like, come in.
My hands are full.
Oh, okay, hold on. And then she could go answer the door.
okay, you go and answer the door, and you see Sunflower standing, holding by Sunflower's own admission, half dressed, with a perfectly clear egg.
She peeks over the side. It changed.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I think I just want to see how it's doing. Could you, yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And she's gonna like kind of like bust in with this giant egg and just be like, so I tried casting sending, but I think it was confused. I just kind of sent my words back in a different order. But yeah, I just want to make sure it's okay. Could you try and see like if it's what it's thinking?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And so Alice is gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, are you looking for surface level, or are you probing deeper?
I think to start she would go with surface level.
Okay. Surface level, what you hear is a bunch of repeated words. They're not repeated in any particular order, but it is the general makeup of what Sunflower's sentences were, but just repeated words over and over and over again. They're not repeating them in the correct order, not even in the same order at all. They're just repeating over and over again this very small dictionary of words that they have.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Alice is just gonna repeat the words back and be like, I don't know what this means.
Oh, I think that's part of what I asked. Those were the words I used, but just not in that order because that's not a sentence.
Oh, okay. So Alice is gonna try and probe a little deeper.
Okay, so in that case it needs to make a saving throw against your spell save DC.
Mm-hmm.
How does one stat a draconic entity?
Oh.
Sorry, say it again.
With scales. So I believe the stat block I'm using for it right now in this moment in time is a... I know what it is. It's this. I got it.
Cool.
There we go. What is that? Is that a wisdom save?
Mm-hmm. Wisdom save.
Okay. The wisdom save, what's... I don't want to reveal too much. Do you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to say it. The wisdom save is a 27.
Okay, yeah, it saves.
Okay.
Well, that's rude.
How did I detect his thoughts before?
Because when you made the check before, there was...
Right before?
Yeah, there was no saving throw made.
Oh. It was a deeper... I probed deeper then.
Yeah, I'm aware of what you mean. It was... what is the best way? It was less evolved. Like if that reiterates it to you at all. Dragons mature quickly.
Okay.
Is probably the easiest way I can explain it. From that first touch of psychic energy, because of the nature of crystal dragons, sorry, not crystal, gemstone dragons, their whole shtick is psychics. So from that initial touch of psychic energy, it's almost like one of the vestiges of divergence when they go from dormant to awakened. It's like that. Mm-hmm. Before your initial psychic touch, that dragon was a little blob of cells. Your psychic touch has opened up its mind. Now it has begun to learn.
Okay.
So in the first instance, there was no saving throw made. It was as soon as you probe deeper, it was okay. It's going to fail. In this particular instance, now it has learned, it has adapted, it has evolved.
Okay.
What I will give you, though, is as you try to probe deeper, the exact same thing that happened before. You know, that whoosh of seeing the divine psychic presence of the multiverse. And then it all just rattling all the way back.
Yeah. So Alys is just gonna, it was just the same stuff as before. Would I be able to tell that I wasn't able to probe deeper?
Yeah, you would very much gain a sense of that this image was fed to you, rather than you saw what was there in its mind. This image was put there almost like paying no attention to what's behind the curtain kind of thing.
Okay.
There's very much a consciousness behind it now.
Okay. Yeah. So it didn't let me detect its thoughts this time.
So it's kind of growing.
Yeah. I can try. I can try using my the telepathy that I use with you guys to kind of maybe open a conversation, but it sounds like it doesn't know language.
Yeah. I just want to make sure it's okay. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
She's looking in on it.
So the egg. Sorry, just to clarify one quick thing there. Sorry, Alys. The egg is clear, but it's not it doesn't have facets like a diamond. When I say this is clear, it's like you're holding a crystal ball with just a little red thing floating in the middle of it. It is. You can see right through this. There's no facets to bend how the image would be shaped or anything. You can see directly through it. To put it in a very, very extreme manner, Sunflower, when you said that you were half dressed and you were holding this egg like this, Alys would be able to see that you were half dressed. They could see you through the egg. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can completely see there's no signs of distress coming from this coiled up little hatchling.
Oh.
Do you speak? I know it's, a hatchling, so it maybe doesn't even understand any language at this point, but do you speak Dragon? Or Draconic? I was gonna say Dragonborn, and I was like, that's not it. Draconic.
I do.
I'm
gonna try...
Oh,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you tell me what to say, I can use my telepathy to, to try to have a conversation.
I was just gonna say I could try sending again, but this time speak in Draconic.
Do you want to use a spell slot for that? Because mine is free.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's do the free thing. I went to college once. We always choose the free thing.
Okay, so Lorelei, it's not Lorelei, sorry, I'm looking at your character name there. Sunflower, what do you tell Alys to say?
I think it's going to be the same thing, just in Draconic.
Okay. So, Alice, you're using sending.
No, it's not sending. It's the way that like Alice.
Oh, the wood elven telepathy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, got you.
It's different than detect thoughts because it's actually like, it's more like message.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, of course, I completely understand. Okay, so you repeat the same thing to it, but this time you're repeating it in that draconic tongue. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like very rough draconic, to be clear, but Alice is, she does pay attention to details, so.
When you speak it, there's no psychic reaction to it, except that it now takes those words, and those words start getting interwoven with those surface level words. There is a physical reaction though. You see the dragon in there, like you see it almost like, even as it's all coiled up, it's almost like an undulation through its body.
It's a body roll.
Yeah. It does a body roll.
It got moves.
I'm gonna say that Alice, because she doesn't speak Draconic, she's not gonna even probably recognize that it's the same words mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's going to repeat the words back to Sunflower.
She's like, oh, yeah, he's doing it again. She, it, them, they, the dragon.
They. I think they is safe.
They is safe. Big red. She's just gonna, take a breath and just be like, okay, I think that's all we're gonna really get.
Yeah, seems like it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that it stays. I hope that whatever happens with this big dragon, this one stays safe. They're still innocent. They're still learning.
Yeah.
The world is such a big place, and I should probably finish getting dressed.
Maybe.
And she's gonna be like, "Oh, thank you. I'll meet you downstairs for breakfast. I'm just."
Yeah, I was gonna say because I can't carry it.
I got it.
Walks back.
It just goes back, and I think in her room she's going to do that same kind of harness backpack kind of thing with the druid craft and the vines, except she's gonna make sure it's completely covered.
Okay.
And that's it.
Anything else for you there, Alice?
Just gonna finish putting the weapons away.
Spend the next 45 minutes putting on weapons.
Yeah.
Then after yourself, I'll go to Sira, and then I'll come to Lorelei before I bring you guys back together. Okay? Sira, when you wake up in the morning, what's Sira's first move?
I think Sira would probably pull out of her pack some of the specialty seasoning that Koyo created for her, and actually eat something.
Okay.
Because it's been a while since she has. But other than that, she's getting prepared and thinking about all the dragon stuff that's currently going on and trying to figure out what we're going to do about it.
So nothing more specific than that?
Not
No?
this time.
Okay. So then we go to Lorelei. Obviously Lorelei, the ending of the previous night, fairly emotional.
Mm-hmm.
The scribe didn't work out. How does Lorelei come into the next morning?
I think they didn't sleep great. Not that they stayed up. I'm not gonna do that. But I think that they sort of tossed and turned all night. And so they have some kind of the dark circles under their eyes, and it's pretty apparent that they didn't have a great time sleeping the night before. If I come downstairs, is anybody do I see anybody doing anything downstairs ever before we leave?
So I think with going down towards, like, you know, breakfast and such, I think as you come down, you would eventually, if everybody else is joining for breakfast, is everybody else coming down for breakfast as well at that point? Yep. As far as I can see, everybody else is going to be there. So you would see Alys there, no armour, tunic top on, necklace, varied assortment of knifey, stabby, pokey things. Sira would be there, and Sunflower would be there. Sunflower fully dressed at this point?
Yes, she did get dressed. She's got on, like, parts of her armor. Not, like, the full half plate and everything, but probably, like, a pauldron and, like, some, like, stuff just to be ready. Like, the under stuff that you, like, put on, like, to put the other stuff on top. So, like, she's ready to put her armor on, but it's not on.
You always have to double check with Sunflower.
Listen, it's only... She has learned in the past year that's inside room stuff.
I think it's great. I love it. And there's a giant egg. Well, I say giant. It's not giant. It's medium-sized. Medium-sized egg, which is perfectly clear.
You wouldn't be able to see it because
it's all wrapped in vines. The
Yes.
egg there is all harnessed up. So
Yeah.
you come in, and that would be the scene that would await you. Everybody sitting there at breakfast, just tucking into the food.
Yeah, Lorelei's definitely like the last one down, and you all see them kind of walk in. These dark circles. Their hair has somehow already gone back to the way it typically is.
I think Sunflower sees the dark circles and goes, "Oh no, not again." Do I need to swaddle you?
No, I just had a hard time sleeping, but I did.
Okay. And she's gonna hand you like a warm drink and some food. Just be like, "Bella."
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sunflower, roll me a d20.
Roll a d20. Okay, I have those. 3.
Carry on.
Cool. Thanks.
I will tell you when this roll happens. As of now, nothing has happened. Just to
Cool.
save anybody's anxiety. But let's just say I'm taking tally marks, and whenever something happens, I'm gonna make you roll a d20.
Cool. Love it. Yeah, no, so she's just going to continue getting things together for their journey ahead. Just, like, making sure everyone's eating breakfast. So if anybody else wants to talk, that's all she's doing. She's just getting ready.
Okay. Now the whole party is together.
Yes.
And now it is, obviously, Sunflower has brought to light, you know, Lorelei. If it's not me saying Lorelei for Sunflower, it's me saying Sunflower for Lorelei. It's the ones that always get mixed up. It's because they're right next to each other. So as you guys come down, and obviously through Sunflower being like, "Oh no, not again," and you know, checking in on Lorelei, you're aware that the night may not have been the easiest on one of the party members. But with all the party now together, I leave the door open to you all. What, if anything, do you wish to discuss and plot and plan moving forward?
I mean, I assumed we would, Sunflower assumes that we're, going to the dragon outside of Shoremont.
Is
Go
the
ahead.
dragon egg there?
It's covered in vines.
But can we see any part of it?
I tried
Is
to
it
cover
just
up as
completely?
much.
Okay.
Yeah, I said she covered it up intentionally because it's clear now, and she's like, I need to keep it.
Because it's druidcraft, it's also fairly easy to control. So I would say that, it would be
Every so
completely
often,
covered
you
up.
would see more vines kind of creeping around, as if she's making sure that any that might die get recovered again. She's kind of constantly keeping this thing covered.
Okay. But yeah, the egg is covered. You wouldn't see any of it, Sira.
Okay. So Sira would sit there, kind of just picking at the food, not really making eye contact with anybody. But she would set her utensil down kind of with like that loud ding on the plate unintentionally. She doesn't use the utensils usually. And go, I don't think it's a good idea to go to the dragon.
What?
Oh?
We kind of have to.
No, I know.
It's attacking people.
It is. However, your dad has a point.
About?
And she's going to nod to the egg that's covered in vines.
Well,
Can you
this
be
is...
more specific? Sorry.
Yeah.
We don't know why the cult of Tiamat is after it. From what I'm sort of gathered from Sunflower's dad is that this egg, this dragon child, is important for all dragons, not just the cult of Tiamat. But we also don't know what it's capable of. If we were to give this egg back to that red dragon, to the cult of Tiamat, then it may give them a power of some sort that may end up costing us even more later on.
I don't think we were planning on giving the egg back to this dragon.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right. However, we need to find a place to protect this egg. We can't just leave it in any old location.
I mean, obviously not. And she's gonna... I think she's, like, sitting next to it and, like, puts her hand on, like, the vine-covered service. Okay. If not with us, then where?
Hey. Sira gets this look of, why didn't I think of this earlier? Bran, what is the Eladrin who lives in the tree's name?
The Eladrin that lives in the tree, as in the traveling tree?
Yes,
Kiva.
Eva. I think she's gonna look around the room. I wonder if someone that I have met before would be able to help us. But I think we may have to go into the woods in order to talk to her.
Bran?
So I just wanted to clarify, because I've just realised Sira technically knows two Eladrin who've lived in trees. Do you mean the one that...
Not the crazy one. Not the one that introduced me to the villains.
Right, the one that these guys have met a few times that talks in
Yes.
wobbly wobbly timey-wimey jumbles.
Not Owen's dad. Owen's mom. The other one.
Right. Okay, again, that doesn't narrow it down.
That's now three different
That's
ones.
now three Eladrin. Do you mean Morwen and Garen, the Eladrin that has the charcoal black skin? Or do you mean the one who this party has met a few times and she talks to trees and shit?
Talks to trees and shit. I've
Right.
met her, I
Kiva.
think, twice.
Yeah, cool.
Kiva, yeah, cool. We're on
Butter
right
in the
path.
bar. Missing.
Huh?
Never mind. Go ahead.
I get Ellie was just saying there it was the one that you met in the gardens at the back of the Vardenvale Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kiva.
Okay.
I believe her name was Kiva. She may be able to hide this egg in a location that no one would know except for her while we deal with this dragon.
Okay. I suppose we can talk to her. Are there woods nearby? Wait, is this in the woods? I can't remember.
There's forests nearby.
Okay. Sunflower looks like a little not annoyed, but definitely apprehensive.
Okay.
Why do we need to go to the woods when we can just cast sending to talk to Kiva?
That's true. I can do that.
I can as well.
Sira's going to look around. Prying eyes.
Well, sending is... I'm just gonna...
Yeah.
But if she were to show up here, it's one of those things.
But shouldn't we talk to her first? We can just talk to her and see.
Tell her to meet us somewhere.
And, see if that's something she can even do.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It was just a thought. I'm just trying to keep this dragon egg as safe as possible, and if we have to fight a dragon, it's not going to be safe regardless.
Well, let's at least contact her, and I don't know, see if there's a safe meeting place to discuss it.
What are we gonna do about this dragon? Because it's attacking and it's hurting people. And...
Well, like I said before, I've got the boon of a gold dragon who may be able to talk this cult down into leaving or even fight the dragon for us. I am unsure of what this dragon could even really do. Not the red one, but the gold one.
Wait, I have an out of character question.
Go ahead.
Because I don't know if I heard you right because my hearing isn't great. Did you say the golden dragon could take care of the cult?
I think
so.
What cult?
I think
Cult of Tiamat.
Oh, okay. That's what I was confused about. I was like, I don't know what cult we're dealing with. We've dealt with so many cults. I don't
There's
remember.
so many cults!
Yeah, no, we need to have a roster at this point.
I made a TikTok about this.
Just a reminder, when Bran was explaining the red dragon, there was also an image or talk about people wearing the Cult of Tiamat necklace, amulet. So, in the villages that were being attacked.
You guys also are aware that it is a group of 5 chromatic dragons that are here. Mm-hmm. With this green one apparently being kind of the lowest of the rung, but from what's been said, the head of this chromatic group was the green dragon's mate. Whether that's this red dragon or whether it's another dragon, you're not entirely sure. But yeah, okay. You do know.
I just want. Sorry.
No, by all means, please finish your sentence.
No, you were in the middle of the sentence. I thought you were done.
No, I was done. Don't worry. It's whatever you wanted to say.
Okay. I was just gonna say that, I just wanted to make sure, out of character, I knew what was going on because I was confused and wasn't sure if I missed something.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's absolutely understandable.
Fair.
So to clarify, yes, as the party is aware, there are five dragons. Whether they're all of the same level, you're not sure, but you know that at least the green one that you guys fought was an ancient green dragon. It was revealed to be the mate of the leader of a group of 5 chromatic dragons. There's now 4 of them left. When the images that you guys were sent about this red dragon and where it was kind of holed up, there was culty looking people who had the symbol of the cult of Tiamat around their neck.
Gotcha.
Basically people who worship draconic entities and want to use the power of the 5 chromatic dragonflights to bring back Tiamat to the material plane.
Cool. Good for them. Sorry.
It's great to have a goal in life, right?
I know. It's great to have goals. I remember those. Whatchamacallit? Once again, Sunflower is just kind of a little on edge now. And she's like, I don't think I can leave this egg. It's new, and it's powerful, and it's important, but it's a child. I can't leave them like that. So whatever we do, that's where I am. So we can contact Kiva and we can try and find a safe place, but wherever it goes, I don't think I can leave it alone.
That's fair.
Out of character. Remind me why we can't give the egg back to the dragon. Is it just that the dragon will be really upset that we took the egg?
So it's been revealed that this dragon is a portion of the fractured psychic resonance of one of the 3 primordial draconic entities known to this world. One being Tiamat, the other being Bahamut, this one being Sardior. Yeah. Giving it to them could be maybe they do want to raise it and bring it
as
to
a baby,
or maybe they do want to sacrifice it to use its residual tumultuous psychic energy to their benefit. You're not sure. You're not sure of their goal with it exactly, or even how they came to have it in their possession.
But honestly, just from what I remember of the Green Dragon and its whole deal, I don't think that they have a positive goal for this child.
Yeah.
I think that's where Sunflower's at. Sunflower's like, I'm not going to hand it over to this guy because I don't think they have this child's best interests at heart.
It's fair.
We originally thought it was this dragon. Like, we thought it was the green dragon's egg. And since we had killed the green dragon, it was like, okay, we'll take the egg.
I was like, I'm not going to leave a baby alone.
Yeah.
It doesn't even know how to do things.
The original plan was to return the egg, and that's how we were going to hopefully quell the red dragon. But as time went by and we figured out what it was, we were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Sunflower saying pretty much like, I'm staying with the egg. However we decide to proceed, this is my responsibility now.
Which makes sense for her character.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if she, she's part dragon, and there's layers, people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like an onion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're going to stay with the egg, Sunflower, perhaps your dad would know a place besides the island that my cult is looking into. Maybe you could stay with him for a bit.
I mean,
I don't know how that works.
Didn't he say specifically that was the only place that would be safe for it?
Is that what he said?
So he did say that one of the safest places for it would be on that island, but that's because no dragon has ever set foot there since what happened. So if dragons are looking for it, it's like if somebody's allergic to peanuts, where's the best place to put something you don't want them to have?
Peanut butter.
In the middle of a giant jar of peanut butter, It's like that. dragons have avoided, like, they've added days to their flight times just to avoid this spit of land. Avoid coming into its vicinity. So
she's gonna
put the egg there would probably be its safest option.
I can call my dad and maybe he can bring me there and I can keep the egg safe there. At least until it hatches and we can.
The issue with that sunflower, the reason why my group is looking into it is because of what your dad said. If someone goes to that island, if they even return, they're driven mad and die soon after.
Out of character, did they say it was any person?
I think it was
Or
like
any being?
living thing.
Any living thing.
Ugh.
Which means it would also be dangerous for this egg.
Yeah, wait! Paradox!
So not the best place for the egg.
Yeah.
I mean...
You can't go there, Sunflower.
Also, again, just on the previous point, just to add on to that, take into consideration this is the being of psionics. This is one of the most powerful psionic beings that is ever and will ever exist. So that could be potentially a defense against what's on that island. You don't know. All you know is what Sunflower's father has said. Sorry, Lorelei, please continue.
It's fine.
Sunflower's gonna pause and she's gonna go, do you know one other place that people either didn't think existed or didn't know about until recently? My home.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, Alice, I think I went over this with you, but it's like a demi-plane and it's like,
Yeah.
There's a whole thing.
We had a whole recap of everything that Alice
We
missed.
did, yes. So she's gonna go, maybe if I took it there, something about the demi-plane, at least we could keep it safe until it would at least be a defense against anyone coming.
Mhm.
It's hard to find. People don't know where it is. We only found it by luck, chance, and my dad. And I don't think my dad's going to be going around telling people where it is.
And you guys were looking specifically for that place,
We
right?
were. I had a dream of it. And I think I only had that dream because I'm from there.
That seems like a safe place for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think I'd be able to leave them. The island itself is still in recovery. And the egg is still... She's going to touch it again. I think at that point, some of the vines would part so that she could touch the clear shell. Again, you might be able to see like a bit of the clearness through the vines, but she wants to touch it directly. I don't think I could leave it. I don't think I could.
But I mean, aren't there people on the island that you could trust to watch over?
Not like me. I am draconic. This is my bloodline. This is who I am. I think this is what I was meant to do. I think keeping this child safe, bringing them into a world where they are not seen as an object of power, but as their own creation, as their own being, is what I was meant to do. Giving something the autonomy to choose what they want, that's... I'm just gonna laugh a little. It's not a choice I was ever given. I want to give them what I never got. Choices. I think that's what being a real parent is. So I'm going to be its parent. I will be its mother. And I'm going to give it what it needs.
What about us, Sunflower? We need you.
You don't know. You guys are amazing and powerful and so strong, and you've changed so much. You don't need mothers. And I'm still here. I'm still here. I need to... I'm just gonna cut off and just... I was told recently to be selfish. And maybe this is an odd way to be selfish. But this is my choice.
Sometimes we have to give up our own needs and wants for the sake of someone else, or for the sake of a lot more people. That's part of leadership, and that's what you're doing, Sunflower.
Let's say, in terms of the world, I think that this is safest. This is powerful and could affect a lot, and I think I'm a pretty good person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if something is brought in with love rather than greed, I think that could really help the world. And and this feels right. And I'm still... I'm not disappearing. Just going away for a little bit.
I understand.
Thank you.
This isn't fair.
Who isn't it fair for?
Sunflower, all you've ever done your whole life is take care of other people.
Yes, but because I felt like I had to. This is what I want. I never got to be a mother, and it's all I ever wanted. It was the only thing I ever wanted. So this is me being selfish so that I can have the one thing I always wanted. I'm going to be a mother.
And you're gonna be really great at it.
Sunflower, roll me a d20.
Oh, fantastic. 15.
When you make that statement there, I'm going to be a mother. For some reason, when you say it that time, when you say there's like a point in your mind where it sounds questioning, and you feel the need to redefine it. Not like I'm going to be a mother, more like I am going to be a mother. And I'd say that's the point where you can be aware of what we discussed.
Yes. She's going to, with one hand on the egg, she's going to take her free hand, she's going to put it on her stomach. And she's going to go, and they're going to have a sibling. And I guess Mork is going to have to come with me because, well, one of them is his. But I am going to finally do the one thing I've wanted since I lost Lily. And I love you all so much. And I can't wait for you to meet my children.
At that, Alice is gonna, like, move to hug Sunflower.
Oh, she's gonna pull her in.
See, this is what I mean by it's not fair. How can I be upset with you about that?
She's gonna pull Lorelei in too. Big ol' orc hug. And she's even going to look at Sira and be like, I don't know if we hug. Do you want to hug?
A genuine smile is going to come across Sierra's face. I haven't known you for long, Sunflower. This feels right for you. And to say that I am proud of this, the decision that you're making for yourself, for this egg, for everything, is an understatement. And she's gonna walk over and get pulled into the hug.
Yeah, just a big old group hug.
With this group hug,
I swear to God, if I get turned into a tree.
Here.
that's what happens whenever this team group hugs now. We roll a D100 and someone might become a
I
tree.
see who gets turned into a tree.
Who's
The middle of this house.
No, it's as is usually the case with adventurers, and as I'm sure many of you have seen, whether as this character, whether in other adventures that you've played and in different tables, there comes a point where you get to a certain level where your characters just know a constant sense of there is doom overhanging over them. You know, as you get to past the level 10 mark, suddenly everything, it's no longer, hey, we stumbled across bandits. It becomes, there's 9 different mob bosses out to kill us, and 5 of them have Finger of Death. And that's the way...
Fingers?
Fingers.
5 of them have fingers.
Yeah, 5 of them have fingers.
Sorry.
Little,
This is my defense mechanism!
little Tommy No Fingers, the mob boss, he's after all of yous. And his lesser known cousin, little Nicky Two Thumbs. Gangsters has weird names. The point I want to make is that this, as I've said, there's always a sense of overarching doom, and this party has known that for quite a time. You know, even in the calm moments, there was always a sense of something else is there, something is hanging over. I would like to make it a point that in this very palpable moment, it is a very definite sense that, as if some kind of ward, there's none of that overhang here. This is just one of those few raw, good and safe moments that you very sparingly get within adventures of this level and severity. So just to clarify on what I believe the decision that has been made is, Sunflower is going to take the egg, and you're going to have your father take you and Mork to the island where the orcs live.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And that's how you want things to unravel?
I think so.
Okay. Then, for the last little remnant of the session that we have together, the last kind of 25 minutes, What would you guys like to do? The discussion has been made about what's going to happen with the egg. Now you have the very high certainty that there will have to be something dealt with about this dragon. Because what I will say that everybody's going to become acutely aware of, with that egg being taken off plane, they're not going to be happy. Dragons, especially from what you guys know about them, from what has been discussed with Sunflower's dad, and from remnant knowledge about dragons of this world, chromatic dragons do not do well with having what they believe to be theirs taken. So, what do you guys want to do with the last time? Sunflower, I believe you started speaking, so we'll start with yourself.
Oh, I was going to say she's going to, before she goes, she's going to stay with them until they make their decision. And she's going to get the food together and make them a little picnic.
Okay.
You're going to give us some provisions, so we always have
yes, like a mom, I'm going to pack your lunch and I'm going to make sure you're fed before you go off and fight things.
Magical peanut butter. Magical PBJs.
There you go. Can I have Lorelei go up to Sunflower while she's doing that?
Yeah.
And like, I don't think Lorelei has stopped crying since Sunflower basically was like, I have to go, and kind of walks up. Is it okay if I'm kind of mad at you? Just a little bit.
She's going to pause and she's going to go, come here. And she's going to sit on the ground. She's going to put Lorelei next to them. And she's going to put an arm around them. And like kind of put their head on her shoulder. And she's just going to hold her for a moment. She's going to say, I'm going to keep... I mean, I don't know how many spell slots I'm going to be using a day. Part of my reaction to all of this is to cast Shield of Faith on myself every hour on the hour. Just in general. But, I think once a day, before bed, I would like to send you a sending. And keep track of you guys. Make sure you're okay. I wasn't lying when I said I'm not disappearing. And I'll probably be back one day.
I know, it's just... Luna left, and Ila's gone, and now you're leaving. And I never had friends or anything before I met any of you. And if you want to go, then you should go. I'm just a little tired of getting left behind. And I don't want you to go, but I want you to do what you want to do. And so I'm a little mad and confused, and I don't like this.
I know. She's just... Shh. It's okay. I was mad too, you know. When I lost her, I almost lost my faith. Which was funny because that was actually when I became a cleric. You can be mad. I will never tell you that anything you feel is wrong. But distance doesn't mean I'm not your friend. What makes me not your friend is that I'm your family. and that connection doesn't break.
I just don't. Go ahead.
No, go.
I just don't know what I'm gonna do without you. Cause like, who's gonna give me tea when I'm upset? Or who's gonna be there when I need someone to talk to? Or who's gonna make me go to sleep when I have to go to sleep?
Oh my gosh. You have to sleep more. And she's just gonna be like, well, we're going to talk because we both have sending and we both like to catch up.
Mm.
And I can show you how I make the tea. So that's like a little part of me's here. And honestly, like you can self-swaddle. You can literally like, you kind of like take an edge and you just like roll yourself up like a little roll, like a little cinnamon roll. And like that kind of actually works like a swaddle.
You laugh a little bit.
How do you have a cinnamon roll?
Because Bran is a cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Cinnamon rolls are my favorite thing. And I need one
Okay.
right now, okay? Let me have my feelings.
Oh, and she's just gonna... Next time we see each other, you're gonna have a little niece or nephew or dragon. I don't know how long it takes dragons to hatch. And you're gonna teach them to paint. And you're gonna let them play with your hair.
Probably not.
And your family's gonna grow. And I will always be there. Even if not in person, I will be there.
There's a pause as they sort of just process everything that you just said, and they sort of would grab your hand and just give it like a reassuring kind of squeeze and would go, I did sleep last night. I had a hard time because I think maybe I was never a cleric of the Raven Queen. Eliras said something like, how do I know that I was a cleric of her? Because I was never technically a cleric because I'm a bard.
Well, then that's amazing, then. You made your own magic.
It also means that somebody tricked me
Well, then,
my whole life, and I don't know why somebody would do that, and I just feel really stupid.
you're not stupid.
I feel stupid.
That's how I felt when I realized my mother had been replaced. But here's the thing about bad people. Their faults don't reflect on us. Their bad actions are not our... Oh, what is it when you lack something? Damn it, why is now the time I lose words?
Downfall?
Responsibility.
No.
Downfall?
Whatever. No. I was gonna say when you lack something. Well, you know what I mean. somebody tricked you.
Inadequacy.
Yeah, that works. Yes, that will work. And one thing I don't want you coming away from this with is thinking you are any less special or amazing because somebody did something bad to you. That's something I've had to try and come to terms with for a long time. And it's a hard lesson to learn. So, I will tell you what I have trouble telling myself. Just, it's not your fault. And I give you full permission, and please forgive me for my language, to go and kick their ass.
You know you're the best of us, right?
And then she cries.
And Lorelei just kind of wraps their arms around you.
They just sit on the floor and hug Lorelei.
And cry.
And cry. They just both sit on the floor and cry together.
Yeah.
It starts raining outside because, I don't know, some god is crying somewhere, I don't know.
Oh. Oh. I need to mute. Oh. Okay.
Lorelei, is that all you wanted to do with your moment with Sunflower there? Yeah. Okay. Once that cuddle pile on the ground reaches a kind of... There's not a less comical word to use, so that's all my brain can put in there, right? Once that comes to a conclusion, is there anything else that you guys would like to discuss before departing, before Sunflower taking their leave? Alice, you got something?
I mean, I was just going to say the only thing we have to discuss is what our plan is for the dragon, because, like you said, it's going to be really pissed off.
I will let because it's now moving into that, I'll let anybody, if they think they would have at some point seen the knowledge, and I'll leave this completely up to characters, I'll let everybody make an Arcana check. This will be like, draconic personalities, that kind of thing. Knowing the ins and outs of how different dragons act to certain stimuli.
Oh my god. I got you know what? It makes sense. My dad's a dragon. I got an 18 plus 1, a 19.
Okay, so a 19 for Sunflower. Does anybody else want to make the roll if they think there's a way they would have?
Character-wise, I don't think Sira would have studied anything on dragons.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I don't. Oh wait, hold on. No. You guys started looking for information on dragons and their origins after you guys got back from the Drakenhold with the gold.
Oh
dragon.
shit, you're right. Okay, okay, hold on.
Sira, you can make that check.
That's a dirty 20. 9 plus 11.
A dirty 20 and a 19. Alice, do you think there's any way that you would have ever looked into... No, not at all.
Alice never makes Arcana checks because she is not that magically gifted.
Okay.
Anyway.
Fair enough.
Lorelei, what about yourself? Do you think there's any... I mean, I know you did a lot of reading in the library. Do you think you would have came across anything that was... Yeah? Well, I mean, actually...
Maybe.
Now that I'm saying that, this could particularly be something you could maybe know about. Because in the Shadowfell, the land of the Raven Queen, specifically she takes red dragons and turns them into red shadow dragons. It's an actual creature stat block. It's an actual creature stat block. You can look it up. It's terrifying.
They're terrifying.
So yeah, I would say, Lorelei, you would have a basis if you want to make.
Yeah, sure. I'll make an Arcana check for it.
Cool, go for it. Arcana check, please.
Sick. 17.
Okay, so combined efforts of a 20, a 17, and a 19. That's going to get you a fair bit. as the discussion kind of starts to move into, you know, kind of this kind of territory, and you start batting around what you do know about dragons. One, through Sira's studies, you're able to, you know, chromatic dragons are exceptionally territorial. They're also very good at holding grudges. Metallic Dragonborn can hold grudges. Not really anything is known about gemstone dragons, so you don't know that. But metallic ones, they can hold grudges, but generally after 100, 200 years, they just kind of like... I forgot about it now, it's cool. But chromatic dragons, they will hold on to grudges for lifetimes. And I'm talking draconic lifetimes. They will find a way to live forever, so they can continue holding on to the grudge. That's how petty they will get with the grudge. With Sunflower's 19, what you'll also get is that when it comes to chromatic dragonborns that have put aside their differences to work together, that almost worsens their worst traits. So
teamwork makes the dream work in the worst way.
But very much so. Very, very much so, Sunflower. And Lorelei, with your specific insight into the Raven Queens dealing with red dragons, you would get this. Red dragons very rarely want to do anything except burn and claim. So the more burned territory, the more they will claim.
Okay.
If this dragon is... With all of that combined, I'm going to give one insight into it. With this being apparently a very, very old red dragon, as far as you're aware, at least bare minimum, ancient red dragon. Chances are, no matter what you did, this dragon was going to start burning. With that, I would say, given the fact that Sunflower has a direct link into draconic knowledge, as well as in tandem with Lorelei's specifically, you know, bits of... It's like the autistic... Oh, I once read about this. Snatch it from 7 years ago, where you read that one sentence. Like, that particular niche knowledge thrown in there. Between the two of yourselves, what you're going to get is that chances are this dragon would take any excuse. And that you guys turn up like, hey, so we don't have the egg. Even if you turned up with the egg and everything it ever wanted from every Christmas list it's ever made, it would find an excuse to start burning.
Its wish is to burn. Can I roll a very weird insight?
Exactly how weird?
Do we think that knowing what we do, and I feel like maybe with her bloodline, she might understand a little more of like personalities and motivations, would bringing up them killing the green dragon maybe throw it off its game or make it like...
Again, I think that would be a bit like a warmonger coming to discuss peace, and then somebody throwing a cup of water. Somebody be like, "Oh, well, that's not a peaceful thing. I'm just gonna chop." I meant more like it's already pissed off, but this might make it sloppy. If anything, I think this would make its senses sharpening, because it's like, oh, well, everybody's heard. So, also, I think it's fairly aware that, I get what you mean, that you guys specifically killed the green dragon. Yeah, like, we killed your mate, like, what you gonna do about it? Maybe it'll make it, like, sloppy and angry? Maybe it could make it sloppy angry, or based on red dragons, it could also really sharpen it. Okay, so I won't make that suggestion. I was gonna say maybe bring up that we murdered its friend, and then, like, take advantage of it being like, "Grrrl, you bastards." But, no. Never. Oh, Ellie, you're muted.
I know. It probably knows that we did.
Okay, cool. Never mind.
That you guys did.
There is that. There is that. What I will say is, given the high numbers there, I will say this one to you as well. As far as chromatic dragons go, when it comes to, like, you know, destructive capability, red ones are up there. When it comes to intellectual brain spaces, they're not up there. They're like down there.
They're like the barbarians of dragons.
Perfect way to put it. They're like the barbarians of chromatic dragons. Red dragons are not all that in a sack of in a bag of handbaskets.
Then you'd be able to trap it. Not like trap it, but at least get it into a spot where you could keep it from. You could lure it somewhere and then, like, really like. I don't know what that is. That's my suggestion. I'm gonna go back to making sandwiches.
The other thing I'm going to say for this as well is that as this is Sunflower's farewell meal to you guys, we're going to do this Big Bang Theory / the last meal of Mrs. Wallowitz style. I'm going to count this meal as a casting of Hero's Feast. So when you guys choose to eat this, there will be massive benefits that come from that.
It's a mother's
dare you.
love.
How dare you?
Listen, if I have to live with that comparison in my head, you guys have to as well. Okay? So, is the dragon the next step, or is there other parts to be discussed about this?
I think the dragon's going to have to be the next step. We have to stop it.
Yeah.
How we're going to do that, I don't know. With Sunflower, not joining us on that one because of the egg.
We have a lot of allies.
I was about to say,
We do have a lot of
you guys
allies.
have loads of allies. In fact,
We've got a whole bunch of allies. I can call some allies from the villain squad. We've got a dragon.
one of those allies, you were actually due to meet up with them recently, and they're fairly well versed in killing things much bigger than them.
Who?
So you remember you guys were due to, in roughly a month's time, meet up with Luna's half-brother, the Blood Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have him, there's all kinds. Oh god, the amount of allies you guys have got, my brain is emotional fogged right now. I would have to go
We
and set it
collected
aside.
so many.
There's so many.
We collected allies like
Yeah.
Pokemon, and now we're just calling on
Truly.
that.
If I was to
Yeah.
just open up the Hero Forge of the Grrrl Squad stuff and look, I mean it's terrifying.
So
the
many.
List. The list is terrifying.
Lorelei would tell all of you that their sister left to go back to the garden and that she's safe there and is going to stay there until we sort out the whole situation of Lorelei being hunted down by people from the temple. So,
Thank you very, very much for that, Lorelei.
mm-hmm.
With that being brought, that you will need to seek allies. I think on that note, with it being the dragon's going to have to be dealt with now rather than later, we need to find allies. I don't want to go from really, really nice and then go into ominous and foreboding. So I think on that we need to look for allies. We need to collect allies of ours. A slightly positive note, the acknowledgement that there's friends out there, friends that can, one, help Sunflower, and two, help you guys. I think I would like to wrap it there. Obviously, because as you talk about the dragon, it's going to get ominous and foreboding, and we've come into this really nice high peak of sad energy that's come into happiness, and I don't want to risk it plummeting down into the hand of doom is now above us again. So I would like to wrap us there. Okay? I'm also going to say, much like we've done before with emotional endings, I'm not going to do our signature sign-off. I'm going to do a very abrupt sign-off for us guys and say, if you want to follow any of these wonderful people, please do go and check out any of our other episodes where you can see all the wonderful things they do. Massive shout out to the channels that we always shout out for a quick rhyme off of them. That would be twitch.tv/Beggar Street and twitch.tv/Dice and Autism. Go and check out both those channels and all the amazing shows that they do. But I'm going to say that that's us for today's session. So that's it from my players, and that's it from me, so that's it from us. Thanks for coming to see us today, guys. I've been your DM of Doom, Son of Asgard, or World Tree Quest here on Twitch. With me today we've had Attack on Morgan, we have had AK Warlock, we've had Ellie the Small, and for their final sign-off from this campaign, we've had Ilanapon 47. From all of us here at World Tree Quest, good night, stay safe, and every now and again it's okay to pull a finny. Good night, folks. good night.